Hello and welcome everyone. This is the Humans of Pharma platform by Pharma State Academy, and here we are with another inspirational pharma journey, Direct Dil Se, where we'll be having a heart-to-heart discussion with a pharma leader. To everyone who's hearing me out, hello and welcome again. My name is Neha Chaudhary, and I'm the project manager at Pharma State Academy in the content and operations team. I'll be your host for this session and hope that you enjoy this interaction as much as me. So I would like to introduce our guest for today, Mohammad Elnadi, who is an accomplished professional in the pharma industry based out of Cairo, Egypt. He's someone who possesses a remarkable combination of technical expertise and regulatory knowledge. With a unique blend of technical and regulatory expertise of over 18 years, he has held various roles in R&D, production, business development, and supply chain management. He has successfully led market access projects and expanded into new markets, working with different regulatory health authorities. Currently, as the Export Regulatory Affairs Manager at Elrazy Pharmaceuticals, he oversees the regulatory business unit. Elnadi sir's extensive experience and knowledge makes him an exceptional candidate in the pharma field. It is with great anticipation that we welcome Elnadi sir on behalf of the Pharma State Academy team and Humans of Pharma platform. Thank you so much, sir, for joining today.
Hello, Neha. I have the honor to be in this meeting with you and cooperation with the Pharma State. You are welcome to.
Let's get this conversation started on a casual note. How are you, Elnadi sir, and how is everything at your place?
Yeah, everything is well. That's good.
That's the first question for the session. What initially sparked your interest in the pharmaceutical industry and that passion that you have for the pharma industry? How did it evolve over time?
Yeah, let's speak in the early beginning when I finished my secondary school and higher education. It wasn't one of my objectives to be in pharmaceutical industry at this time, but after agreement with some of my friends and some pressure of my father, I joined the pharmaceutical science college here in Cairo University in Egypt. But when I started studying pharmaceutical science and some of them, the subjects like chemistry and pharmaceutics and pharmaceutical development formulation, I enjoyed it very much. So it attracts my attention and my passion to be in this field, especially in the formulation of dosage forms. And then after I joined the professional career in my first employment, I joined it as a formulation pharmacist. So I think that in this time that I achieved one of my dreams to be in the formulation and R&D fields. So that when during the work, I start to realize the impact of this industry, especially in my field like formulation development, and how it affects the safety and efficacy of products to be introduced to the population and consumers. So I feel that I have an impact on the healthcare system in the country by helping people to get healthier life. Then with time and experience, I also realized the impact of this industry on the whole economic status of the country. So the passion increased and increased till I now reached to this, I think, huge experience. As I'm in my field, on my journey in the career, I passed almost with all departments and functions in the pharmaceutical industry. So with each step in the journey, passion increased with new knowledge, new information, and new impact on the society. Okay.
Wonderful to hear. Wonderful to hear. Very inspiring indeed. So in this amazing journey that you just described, any pivotal moments or projects that stand out for you as the turning point of your career, and what impact such moments had on your career trajectory?
Yeah, exactly. I was very lucky that this one of these points or these projects in the early stage of my professional life in the career. It takes only 1 or 2 months after joining the first job in my career. When I joined a pharmaceutical factory after graduation, direct after graduation, I was assigned to be as a QA or quality assurance officer. And in this fact, there wasn't an R&D department yet when I was here. So all the problems and that occurs during the manufacturing process for the products or the manufacturing process itself. The investigation for these problems and finding solutions to it are mainly assigned to the quality assurance department. So as one of quality assurance team, I was asked to investigate one of these problems for one of the products. So after I finished my studies and investigations, I developed my report and sent it to the factory manager. So I surprised that he invited me for a meeting. It was really a surprise. I was still young and a fresh graduate. Yeah, not in the position to have meetings with top management. Yeah. So when I met him, I found him surprised and amazed by the report and the way of thinking of it and the research method itself. Then also I surprised that he decided to start establishing R&D department in the factory. And the surprise here that the department is established or built on me. He assigned me to this task. So it gives me a high confidence at this time. Is to see that a great department or a very complicated department is established based on me. So this step gives me give me a high self-confidence in this stage of my professional life. Another one step also in the formulation that we have to develop a formula for a herbal product, and there was a problem in formulating this product into tablets. The client needed it in a tablet form. Tried a lot in it. We started to consult foreign companies from different countries like USA and some countries in Europe, and they all agreed that it can't be in tablet form and should be in capsule form. But according to client requirement, we have to do it in tablet. So we decided to rely on ourselves to find a problem for this. And we finally, with my team, of course, in cooperation with my team, we reached a solution for this product, and we succeeded to develop in tablets. And so this also gives me a higher confidence in our capabilities as a young pharmacist. This journey steps me, and another one step that gives me, as you said, a trajectory point in my life as a trainer or in the education field. Also, we have a project. When I was in a consultant company, we have a project for a training program in abroad out of Egypt, and this was a great project. And it was in the regulatory field. So at this time, our regulatory trainer who is responsible for these training sessions left us, and the time frame is very tight. So I decided to take the responsibility for this training and to prepare myself for this training, and I take the decision to provide this training. After delivering this training, I also am amazed and surprised by the feedback. So it gave me a highlight that I can continue in this field and this career, and this was the starting point for me to in the education career or the training career in regulatory affairs fields.
What incredible opportunities you've had, sir. Indeed, very lucky opportunities like that. Absolutely. Reason for your success today. So while we are talking about your career trajectory, I would go a little off the cuff here. And, I, along with our viewers, would be very interested in knowing your upbringing and family, how it shaped you as a person you are today, and how were you as a child?
Yeah, I was in Egypt, in Cairo, in a middle class family. My dad was a chemistry teacher. I have four brothers and sisters, and I am the eldest and the first brother. As a child, I was quite child. I wasn't very naughty. I was a quiet child. I was good in my study, and also I was playing football in one of the clubs here in Egypt. But after some periods, my dad and my mother decided to stop playing football and concentrate in the study. So I left the club. When I was young, I was reading very much. I read a lot of books in different areas and different categories of science and literatures. And actually, this is one of the points that led me to be open-minded to different cultures, different ideas, not to be closed on one idea or one culture only. So I appreciate this period of my life that I read a lot of books. Of course, it was before internet and the Google and a lot of information available today. It was hard copies of the books, and it was very interesting to catch a book in your hand. Yeah, but this period created my mentality. Now I'm married and I have 2 daughters.
Okay.
Yeah, that's only about my life, my personal life.
They must be incredibly proud of your achievements, so your family, your daughters, everyone. Thank you so much for sharing a glimpse of your family. It's always intriguing to know about the personal side of such accomplished professionals. So back to your expert area. So as someone with a unique blend of technical expertise and regulatory knowledge, what strategies do you employ to, bridge the gap between the 2 areas, the technical expertise and the regulatory knowledge, and ensure that there is a successful outcome in your role as an export regulatory affairs manager?
Yeah, exactly. When I decided to join the regulatory field, or regulatory affairs field, I found that I should have a good and sound knowledge in scientific knowledge in the industry. And exactly what helps me, as I said that before joining the regulatory field, I was passed through almost all departments like quality assurance, quality control, and production. And also in the beginning, I was working as R&D, so I have experience in formulation development. This gives me a strong scientific background regarding the different areas in the industry. And when I joined the regulatory affairs, I found that to master your function in the regulatory affairs field, you must have scientific background, because you are always in debating and in negotiation either with other personnel in different departments in the factory, in the company, or either with the regulators in the regulatory authorities. So you must have a good scientific background to be able to discuss it on scientific rationale or scientific base. So it gives you a good power of negotiation with them, because if regulators found you that you are understanding what you say, they respect you and try to speak with you on the same level of science and knowledge. Also with the other departments, it allows me to review our submissions well before submitting it to the authorities. So it decreases the list of inquiries received by regulators. So it speeds up the introducing our products to the market. So I recommend anyone working in regulatory affairs field to concentrate on improving his scientific knowledge in the pharmaceutical industry in different areas.
Okay, sir. Very impressive. So, sir, a natural question arises is that the pharmaceutical regulations industry is very dynamic. It's ever changing. In very frequent timeline, you get new regulations and new trends and advancements. So, how do you, as a professional in this field, ensure continuous professional growth and development? And what steps do you take personally to stay ahead of the industry trends and advancements?
Yeah, as you said, it is ever-changing environment. It is one reality that one should consider, that the regulatory environment is changing over time according to a lot of factors. So as a regulatory affairs professional, we have to have a wide look, or a wider look for the environment, not only on the regulations we are working with. We have to have a look on the whole environment, either economic environment, the political environment in the country. We want to register our products within it, or to introduce our company to it. The IT developments that happens very fast nowadays. So because all these factors can affect the regulatory environment we are working in it. So we must have a good look for the environment around us, update ourselves always with the news and the policies the country follows in these days and in the future trends. Also, to fill this gap, we have to update ourselves technically, either by attending conferences, taking training sessions on the most recent trends in the regulatory affairs or the industry generally. Also, attending the exhibitions related to the industry to know the most updates in the industry and the most trending topics in the industry. So we have to always keep ourselves updated by continuous education and continuous knowledge about the industry and the changes happening in it, because we are now in a very rapid changing world every day new technology, new decisions, new policies from each country that affects the surrounding countries and the trade between these countries, regulations that changes according to these agreements. So we always have to be updated. For myself, when I wake up every day, I have to check the websites of all regulatory authorities that we are working with, to check the regulations. Some time we found new decisions and new updates on the regulations, so we have to re-evaluate our submissions according to these new updates from the authorities. So the strategy you follow, that we always keep yourself updated.
Yes, sir. And so then again, with the changing landscape, with the ever-changing landscape, there would obviously be scope for new market opportunities. And you have experience in business development, right? So what key factors do you consider when identifying and evaluating new market opportunities in this ever-changing landscape? And how do you assess the feasibility of entering a new market?
Of course, the first thing we have to take into consideration the strategic objectives of the factory or the company we are working with. The first point or the start point for develop their business, what they are looking, their objectives in developing their business. The next step, are they need only to introduce new products to the market, or they are looking to establish a new entity in a new market? They want to go to a highly regulated markets, or the status of the company didn't allow it for this highly regulated, and we will go to semi-regulated markets or non-regulated markets. So this is the start point. What is the status of the company and their objectives? After that, we look for the opportunities in the market. Of course, the first thing, as we are in pharmaceutical industry, we have a look on the entire healthcare system in this country. What is the diseases, the diseases in this country? What are the products available in the country, and where the areas that we can compete in it? Because not every areas we can compete according to the status and of the company. So we looked at our portfolio and the disease in this country, and start to select the products that we can introduce to this market. So when we are looking for an agents for our companies in other countries, to select the agent that can comply with our requirements and achieve our goals. because not every agent can achieve the goals of the company. Maybe a very big agents didn't give the sufficient interest. The low-class agents, we are not qualified to work with us. So the selection of agents to represent you in the country is very crucial step in developing your business in these countries to achieve your goals there. After that, we look for we have to, in cooperation with the agent, to have a complete study regarding this country, evaluating the regulatory requirements, the market itself, how we will compete on it, if the marketing challenges in this country is, even if we registered our products, how we can compete with the competitors there. So we have to study this point very well, if we can compete in this country with the already existing competitors there. How much will be our share from this market? Is this a potential opportunity for this market, or we cancel the investment there? So in business development, a lot of considerations should be taken before taking the decision to put investment towards this market. Either geographical markets or in new areas in therapeutic classes for new products.
Thank you so much, sir. Your insights on identifying and evaluating new market opportunities indeed very valuable for our viewers, and the sheer breadth of understanding you have of regulatory landscape is very impressive. So talking about the trends in the industry, I think you'll agree that one of the major upcoming trends is data analytics. And given your background in data analytics, we would want to know that how do you leverage data-driven insights to make informed decision-making in the regulatory affairs domain? And if you could, supplement that with any example of how data analysis has positively impacted the projects that you were handling or any work that you are doing.
Yeah, we are now in the era of data, which is the power of the company, how much of data they have to analyze to take decisions. So it is very important to be aware how to deal with data and the significance it gives to you when taking decisions. Of course, when we started to take a decision in the company, we have to analyze some data and find sources for this data. So we have how to archive the data we receive every day from our work and from the market to be able to retrieve this data and analyze it in the future for taking decisions, or making subscription to some organization that provide this data and their analytics. IMS, which is one of the very important data analytics for pharmaceutical industry and pharmaceutical. A lot of decisions is taken based on this data, especially when deciding to invest in some products, which you have to check the analytics of in this product in some sites like IMS, to see if this product how its market share is ascending or descending in this trend in its trend. Maybe it have a good market share, but the trend is descending, not ascending. So this is this information and this decision to stop the investment in this product or this molecule is taken based on data and its analysis. Also, in regulatory affairs, we have to check in the data of that comes from the authorities, like the most common comments raised by these authorities. And also how many products they receive every year, and how many products get the license finally. So this this information gives insights about the trends in this authority. Is it easy authority to evaluate and give license, or they are more sophisticated? So we have to give more attention to the submission analyzing the comments from this authority, which areas they are. Some authorities concerns on methods of analysis, some others concerns on pharmaceutical development, others concerns on the safety and efficacy mode and validation. So after by analyzing the data received by the authority, either from our products history with this authority or from other companies dealing with authorities with other companies, when collecting this data, archiving it and analyzing it, we have some insights that help us taking decisions and putting strategies even for creating the submissions for these authorities.
Definitely, we can say that utilizing data-driven insights in regulatory affairs domain, very powerful approach. So here I would like to touch a different subject area, that is supply chain. So you, in your role as a supply chain manager as well, what strategies did you implement in optimizing material flow, reducing waste, and enhancing the overall efficiency within your company? And if you could share any specific challenges that you faced and how you overcame it.
Regarding supply chain, my role in supply chain, let's speak in the first that nowadays companies compete through their supply chains. It is now to be able to compete in the market. It is all about how to manage and to control the entire supply chain for your products, not only to focus on your products in the in your company. We are almost now affected by the whole supply chain, and if we see now after COVID-19, the supply chain problems affect the whole industries in around the globe. So for me, when I was in supply chain, it is my advice not to stick or adhere to one strategy. We in the first we have to know a lot of strategies, a lot of trends in managing supply chain, but in finally or in the end, we have to put a strategy that capabilities, our cash flow, our objectives in the market. So we can, and finally, we can get a mix of strategies, or we get a new strategy based on our capabilities. In my when I was a supply chain manager in the past, I always prefer to use the lean process to lean our supply chain process. I didn't prefer the most sophisticated steps because our company was still a small company. We need to be agile, more flexible to the requirement of the market. So we can't have a stock in a high stock in the stores. So always our supply chain have to get the requirements or the goods or the materials in the stock only for the order we are making now, and these orders changes rapidly. We are still not stable in the market. We don't have stable products with annual forecast. Every our work was based on direct orders, so it changes every time. We don't have fixed design for the packaging materials because every client needs it in a specific format. So we have to follow a lean process to speed up the process of changing this requirement every time. So my advice is to look for your company status, your company capabilities and cash flow and their objectives in the market. Also to be aware with all strategies and the most recent strategies in the supply chain. But when you decide to put a strategy for your department in the company, put the strategy that fits your company, even it is not comply with any of the most recent strategies, or make your own strategy.
Very valuable insights indeed, sir. I'm sure the examples and the knowledge that you share would resonate with people beyond the pharma industry as well. So, sir, we all know that you are an educator and a trainer as well. So, what inspired you to share your knowledge and expertise with others in the pharma industry? And if you can describe any memorable training experience where you witnessed a significant growth or transformation in the participants.
The transfer of knowledge, I love it. Once I was young employee, I transfer my knowledge. What's the knowledge I get, I I I like to transfer it to subordinates or in any other departments who ask for any information, but not as an educator or as a trainer, just for knowledge transfer within the company or with colleagues. And as I told you earliest in this interview, that to be a trainer, it comes by serendipity or by chance. I enforced it to be in this position in the first. But after I received feedback from the trainees, I decided to continue in this field to provide this knowledge and experience I get from my more than 18 years experience in the industry in different fields, but especially nowadays in the regulatory affairs. And I was grateful to the feedback and I received from all the trainees. I delivered my training and my knowledge to them. So this feedback encouraged me to update myself, either the positive feedback or some negative feedback. Yeah, okay. The negative feedback, it is always taken as a point for improvement. So it also helped me a lot. Beside the positive feedback that gave me confidence, the negative feedback helped me a lot to improve myself, my knowledge, my methodology in delivering the training. So I loved it very much to work as a trainer and an educator. That makes me have a great impact on the trainees or attendees that attend my trainings. I was very proud to hear from them that they improved a lot in their work based on the knowledge they get from the training. So I love it so much.
Very inspiring to hear that, sir. So, looking ahead, what do you believe are the most significant regulatory challenges and opportunities in the pharma industry? And how do you envision your role evolving to address these challenges and contribute to the industry's growth and development?
Actually, it is a lot of regulatory challenges here, because the regulatory requirements or regulations is updated very fast, and always it is updated towards to complicate or raise the level of compliance. This may make some difficult to the small and medium companies to be in compliance with these requirements. So it is very challenging to these companies how they will comply with the updates in the regulations. People in the pharmaceutical industry may know that after applying the CTD or the Common Technical Dossier, a lot of requirements was added to the registration dossiers that not in the old system of registration dossiers. These updates make a lot of headache and a lot of financial load on the companies to be in compliance with their submissions in CTD format. And when I see and as my role in export regulatory affairs, a lot of these companies in African markets wasn't able to comply with the new requirements in CTD, so they are out of the market. So this is a great challenge for these companies. Also, there is a lot of changes in regarding the artificial intelligence and its use in regulatory affairs and applying the studies on new molecules and products. We are now hearing about using artificial intelligence in giving information or using information regarding the non-clinical and non-clinical studies. But if these studies or the results coming from these studies will be resembling the real status of the human being or not, is it sufficient to take decisions regarding the safety of products or not? So all these coming challenges and also maybe opportunities. We didn't know if it can be used to minimize the use of humans and animals in trying new molecules that we don't know anything about safety and efficacy. So it will be a great opportunity to save humans and animals. But if it is not working with us in giving sufficient information, it will be a disaster to try new molecules on the whole population, depending on data given from artificial intelligence only. So these new items or new trends that make a challenge and may be opportunity or a disaster, we still not know till now.
Very, very valuable perspective, sir, and indeed exciting to share how you envision the future trends. So here's my last question to you. What advice would you want to give to freshmen, recent graduates, and any enthusiasts who are interested in following your footsteps and entering the regulatory affairs domain?
Yeah, my advice to the new graduates or fresh graduates is always keep working on yourself and update yourself with new updates in the industry. Try to growing yourself always by keeping on training to minimize the period you will take to get the needed experience. Training shorten what you can take as by experience in the work in 5 years. By training, we can shorten this period to 1 or 2 years. You can take this experience by keeping on attending the training sessions, keeping updates by the industry and the regulatory affairs fields, either on online sessions or on internet. You can get information you need, but you have to keep yourself updated with the trends. Also, if you need to master your career in regulatory affairs and to be an excellent regulatory affairs professional or personnel, you must have a good scientific knowledge. So don't neglect this part of science in the pharmaceutical industry. Not only concentrate on the regulations and the submissions, and also to concentrate on arranging the documents and registration to their or registration files only, but you have to know what every document in this submission, why it is important, what is this study, what its importance in the industry and for your submission, so you can discuss and negotiate with other personnel in other departments, with regulators. You can justify your decisions, the decisions you take. So to summarize this, keep updated by training or and also concentrate on the scientific knowledge on the same level as regulatory knowledge.
Very valuable advice, sir. Highly appreciated. Thank you so much. And I'm sure your guidance will inspire and provide insights to all those who are following your footsteps. So as we conclude, I would like to thank you again, Elnadi sir, for your presence. Everyone in the pharma industry, including the professionals and students, will benefit from simply hearing you if they want to change and more motivation for their career. And everyone who is watching, I hope you enjoy this episode. Reach out to us if you have any suggestions for future episodes by connecting with us on LinkedIn and other social media channels at Humans of Pharma, or by email at humansofpharma@pharmastate.com. Thank you so much. Bye.